It's the morning DNA for August 15th. I'm Aaron Dice, the man of a single black shirt. She is Danae Hughes, the woman of a million distractions, and we're here to find out what today, October 15th, 2022.
October? Excuse
Sure.
me?
You know, let's just skip a couple months. August is
what
actually
just
what
happened? No. Pause the show. Are
It's
you
made of-
okay?
Yeah, no, my brain was in October. I was doing some forward planning this weekend with my wife and just trying to get through the end of the year and figure out like where we were going, what was going to be happening. I have a trip in October that was heavy on my brain trying to figure out when it was going to be. And so I just teleported there for a little bit. Apologies.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was just a little worried about you. That's all. Just suddenly be like, it's October. No. No, it is not.
No, it's not. You've got a couple months.
I'm struggling because I've decided that so I have two monitors and there's a space between them. There's an
Great movie. The Space Between Us. Great movie.
And in between that space is my camera. Because when I game, I need to be able to fully see the game, and the camera is if it's up too high, I can't adjust it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just stick it in the middle. The problem is that I'm never like facing the camera when we have conversations. I always am like super aware when we're in meetings and stuff that it's just like the side of my face as I'm looking at people. So I feel weird about it. So I just thought of this. I just realized because I can actually put half of the screen on one monitor and half of the screen on the other monitor. I'm going to take a picture and send it to you.
Please do. Please
do.
do.
This is what it looks like right now, Aaron. Okay, I'm sending it to you. Again, apologies to all the podcasters who have to endure.
No, this is great content. Listen, there is...
This is great content. Says the man who's making it.
There is this thing when you stream or publicly go live and do a show, that kind of thing, where it's like you wanna be camera present. My camera's up on the left side of my ultra wide, so it's like right above where we are.
I've got an ultra wide.
No. Listen, this is not what this is about. This is not. Oh, I've got two screens. I've got two full screens.
I have the board that you've been coveting for years.
I asked for that one. Yeah, I asked for
that one. There's always this conundrum of how do I interact with the things that I'm interacting with while also being present, like with the camera. And like we're talking about doing some gaming streaming together, right?
Yes.
Like doing some Mario Kart streaming.
Mario
right?
Kart, baby.
What?
We could do that today. Let's ditch work. I have so much to do. It's a terrible idea. We could do it right now, Aaron.
Yeah, let's do a Twitch ditch.
Okay.
So no, Danae?
Oh.
No, that was a joke.
Oh, you were kidding.
But we're getting ready to do that, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, where do I watch the game? Because I can't bring it, like I don't have a dual monitor setup like some people do. Like on my ultra wide, I can't.
How sad for you.
But I do have a television over here, but if I use the television, I'm going to look like this. And I'll have to do this kind of thing to talk into the microphone.
Which honestly is really bad for your neck.
Totally. It's terrible. So like I'm trying to figure out, okay, I can put up a second camera, but where do I place that second camera? And is there anywhere? So it's just,
And is there anywhere what? That it shouldn't go? Yes. There's a lot of places it shouldn't go. Let's talk about that.
Thank you. So where does it go? What is the angle?
Yeah,
like
so I'm
all
like
that
over
stuff.
here like clicking and dragging like so I just sent you a picture. You can check it out. Let me see if I can I'll try to pull it up. I wonder if I could pull it up for everybody too. I think I can.
That's funny.
I can think smart. Watch me go. I can think so smart.
Okay, it's fine. Everything is fine.
So there it is.
Did you already pull it up? Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So
yeah, I was actually just going to show them the picture. That's even easier. Great job.
Yeah, here's what I want you to do now. I'm going to hold
Slothra?
from the TV Sins video. I'm going to hold this up, and then you take a picture on your setup what this looks like. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We don't want to go down that road.
Come on.
Slothra, let's see.
I believe this is Slothra.
Okay, but
Mine was, I can think smart.
that's very different sounding.
Yes, very different sounding.
That's very, very different sounding.
Yeah. So yeah, there's always all these things to take in consideration. Another thing, eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed is I got a new chair.
Yeah.
Like a more like
yeah.
racing style gaming chair because I was getting like working down here in the office. This isn't just where I stream, like whatever, like I work down here. And when I would work down here for more than a few hours, I would get back pain because I have terrible chairs. You know, the chairs down here, they're terrible. Like we got those like when we set up our first, they were like one of our first big purchases, right?
Yes,
we're like, we're
it was
going to
a
get like
big
rolly
deal.
chairs.
It was a big deal.
Because before that we had just like wooden,
no padding, bar height chairs that we were not sure were going to actually make it because we literally went to a thrift store and they had this section where all the furniture was. And we went and we sat in all of them. And the one that wiggled the least amount was the one that we bought. And it was like 10 or $20 per chair because they were super cheap. And so when we bought the rolly chairs with padding for like $120, we were like, this is big time.
Big time, man. Big time. But they were cheapos. And that was, I'm going to say 6-7 years ago. Like they've been around forever. And so my back was killing me. So I did some research because my main issue is I'm huge. Like I am a tall dude. And so to find a racing chair that actually came up to my head height was a process. But I found a really nice chair. So, and it works.
Herman Miller.
Nice.
Okay. All right. We're going to Herman Miller. I'd like to, thank Dante Sky for being the first Danae goes off the rails and starts to,
What, one of a million distractions?
Chrome tab. Let's go here. All right. So here we are in Herman Miller.
Okay, so these are more like office chairs, so not necessarily like racer style
These are
chairs.
good. Yeah, these are. Oh, see, they got the back support situation going on. Okay.
But see, that's one of the things I love about this. It has this beautiful, solid lumbar
here we go.
pillow. That is,
Guys, this
look,
is
Danae,
literal.
it's our first chair.
We did have a little bit higher backs, but that's basically
That's
what we
basically
sat in
it.
when we did our show.
That was it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's interesting how things progress and, things change and, the ability to kind of do those kind of things. And it's lots of fun. But
It is lots of fun.
Deirdre, is this an ad? No. No. Believe
Yes.
me, no.
Yes, it's an ad.
I
No.
wish it was an ad. I'm not saying I wouldn't do an ad. I'm saying it is not. I wish it was. AK Racing, call me. So yeah. Danae, how's your morning been?
Yeah, a little chaotic. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to change my topic. So I think I'm going to talk about my chaotic morning and then change my topic before we get there.
Oh, fine. Do whatever you want. I was just
Because
curious.
I'm kind of like, I have a couple things on my mind, but so over the weekend, so yesterday, Justin took my 5-year-old Iris out of the house because we were having a really serious air conditioner issue, as many people are experiencing.
I mean, serious air conditioner issue is putting it lightly.
Thank you. It was very, very hot. Let's see.
Your air conditioner shut down. Let's be clear.
Yes. And my house was 87 degrees inside the house. It was very, very hot, very dangerous. So it was kind of like I don't want to get too much into it because it's not fun to listen to this kind of stuff. But like, you're like, okay, am I going to have to replace the unit? Am I panicking? Like, what point do I panic and just call someone and say, just come do whatever and I'll pay you whatever and
Right.
figure it out later? Like,
I will take a loan out on my home. Here's $30,000. Just please.
Yeah, give me a new cool thing. Literally cool.
I want the latest cool thing.
I guess what I want to say, just for the record, is I have done my due diligence. I've had one company out twice, and I called another person for a second opinion, and I called a roofer to also get an opinion about like whether or not the my attic space is, adding to the difficulty. It's a hot summer, so it's a little bit strange time to be making huge decisions without like doing some research. And I had a guy come out and he did a couple little fixes and it was running perfectly smooth. And he said that it was going to be, you know, aside from being a machine and machines can break down, it was in good shape and should last until, you know, I can replace it with a newer unit and just start saving up now. Like new units, about $10,000. If you want to do heating and air, you know, go $20,000 and just start saving up now is kind of the idea. And then it dies completely. And I thought, oh God, he was wrong. Here we go.
Yeah.
But he came back. So yesterday, Justin took Iris and they went and played. They had a fun time. They have this huge indoor sandbox that they went to, and she was just running a mile a minute. It was amazing. She just ran around for like literally 4 hours in a play place. So she was exhausted. They came back. The house was...
Most cat owners, by the way, have indoor sandboxes. I've seen those around the home.
The cool thing is the guy that came and did the little fix, he came back and he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed this. There's this piece that had a little thing blow out and I replaced it and it's $50. And I was like, ah! It was awesome. I felt awesome. It was a huge win for homeowners. I mean, like if you've ever been facing a potential $20,000 bill and it only comes up to $50, it feels pretty good.
That feels nice. That feels good. It's like the easiest $50 you've ever spent. It's like,
here, yes.
Yes.
Here, yes. So the house.
Do you want 60? I'll give you 60.
By I want to say 3:00, the house had cooled from 87 to 80. Now at the same, that seems like a bad number, but it was also 95 degrees yesterday outside. So my system was struggling to get caught up. Here comes Iris back. We have a really fun rest of our day. Then she goes to the pool. She was running everywhere. So I decided to let her sleep in. This was your original question. How was your morning? Mm-hmm. All of that leads into this morning, which is I woke up and I was really, really hot. And I was like, oh, not again. No. Turns out Iris and 2 dogs had decided to use me as so I'm like coming to and I'm just like
you had cuddle buddies.
Yeah. I had 3 heaters on top of me. Uh-huh. 2 on my legs. When a toddler decides to sleep with you, it's just their whole body is just everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, she's all over me. So that was initially like a panic, then a win. And I let her sleep in, and I can't do that much longer, but she was sleeping in. So overall, this morning was really great because yesterday the house got cooled down. I cleaned up around the house. And so when I woke up, like my bedroom was clean, and there's something really psychologically pleasing about waking up to a really clean bedroom.
Yep.
My bathroom was clean and everyone was kind of getting along. We laughed a lot, and I just sort of meandered in here with some coffee. I'm really hungry because I forgot to allot myself for breakfast, but I have a snack bar that's keeping me
Excellent.
sane. Yeah,
Excellent.
so my morning was really good because and I needed it. I needed it after a crazy weekend and all the stuff that's been going on. I needed a win. Mm-hmm. So, and chat, you're feeling me. My gosh, it was 85, says Slab. In my house the other day, almost had to call for an emergency. Yep. Turns out I accidentally unplugged the AC in the basement looking for an outlet for the vacuum.
Wait a second.
Slab!
Wait, now hold it. That should not be possible. Like, I mean, I'm assuming it must be a window unit, right? Like you unplug the window, like central AC is not plugged into an outlet. So this had to be like a window unit downstairs or something. That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
I still don't know how you do that, Slab. That's amazing.
Oh my gosh. Lolly says, I had to do a move out clean of a 2,000 square foot property for sale last week. When I arrived, the AC was blowing hot air. Thermostat read 91. So I cleaned the entire property in the 90s and it made my whole body hurt. Oh my gosh. We were drinking so much water. It's crazy how you're like, I'm going to be fine. It's just going to be hot today. Mm-hmm. But as the day progresses and you're just consistently in the heat, I got so tired. My body was like, just lay down and do not move.
Yeah.
So, ugh.
Heat'll do that, man. I get heat headaches. If I'm in hot weather for more than an hour, I'll start to get a headache. And I know it's just my body trying to like cool its center, but yeah.
It's been rough. I'm glad it's hopefully going to be over. Before I ask you how your day is and how your weekend was, Mr. Dicer, I do want to address this a comment from Angry Ostrich, who says, I watched too many ghost shows. The mirror in Danae's office is reflecting the ceiling fan, and it makes me think of a ghost. Well, I also decided to put up Pawpaw.
I saw Pawpaw up there.
So right inside it looks like maybe like Pawpaw is coming through the portal.
It does. It looks like Pawpaw is coming from the other side.
I put it there on purpose, so I'm glad it's been noticed. I hope it doesn't mess with you too much.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I had a decent morning. I first of all, I miss it when we don't do this. We've been off 2 weeks and we're back doing this this week after a 2-week absence.
Yeah, you were on your anniversary trip.
I did go on an anniversary trip, and I saw somebody ask about that. I put it in the spot for you questions later.
Oh, we can ask. Okay.
But this is life. Like I love popping in and then just seeing, Slab and Tyler and Doc and Angry Orchard and Lolly and JCD and there's a group of a few dozen people that hang out with us on Monday mornings currently, and it's so much fun, and I really enjoy you guys. And so that was kind of the capper to my morning, which was really good. We have a couple dogs here that are really behaving themselves and doing great. We watch other people's dogs through Rover. And we have a couple schnauzers this weekend, and they're really kind of have their own personality and are a lot of fun. And so one of the things about them, though, is they're great alarm clocks. Like Finn is a dog. It's Finn and AJ are the two dogs. And Finn is like 6:15 a.m. every morning. It's time to let me out. It is like on the dot. And so it's just like, okay, that gets me up for my workout.
That's nice.
I went out, had a great run this morning, felt really good. Part of that has to do with the fact that it's not 95 degrees at 7 a.m. now. So it was more like 78 this morning when I ran, which is perfect, wonderful. So I had a great run. It's just been a really nice morning. I've got kind of that post-run energy, feeling good. Timing worked out well this morning. So it just feels like a morning the way it's supposed to happen. Yeah, like those are nice to have. So
yeah, it's important. Like I feel like so Iris, she starts school a week from today.
That's
my
wild.
Child is starting school, and so it's like I have to start a routine now. Like, this is forcing me to do the routine thing, and I wish I had a dog that woke me up, but instead I'm going to have to do the alarm thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not good with alarms.
I don't personally know what you mean. We can talk about that later if you want, but
we can.
I don't use an alarm clock, even when I got up at like 4:35 a.m. I never used an alarm
Specifically
clock.
4:35.
Specifically 4:35 a.m. That's not even a joke, really. That really was when I told myself to wake up.
I like to wake up at 4:37. And your body is just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm being forced into routine, which is a very interesting thing because it's not like it's a choice. I mean, I guess we could just not take her to school and be those people, but we're not. So
be those parents.
I have to take her to school. She has to be not only, okay, listen. I am very used to, at this point, getting her dressed, getting her hair brushed, and getting her in the car. But moving forward, I also have to feed her breakfast.
What? Feed your children?
Hold on. This is crazy. This is the crazy part.
Yeah,
I saved the big one for second. And also pack her lunch.
Wow.
When I found out
in both cases, you're having to feed your children. It's just wild stuff.
When I found out I was pregnant, I was dreading those things because I am not used to feeding myself properly and in a consistent fashion. It's like, I am very hungry. I forgot to eat for a long time. I'll go into the kitchen. I don't have anything quick to eat because I didn't think ahead. And so now I will get in the car and I will go to Taco Bell, which is one of the only fast food places that still isn't ruined for me for some reason. But like with Iris, I mean, obviously she's got to have a healthy. We got an email. I got an email yesterday that was like detailing the importance of
nutrition and sleep.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
Which of course I know. But I haven't had to be responsible for it because she's been cared for by some really amazing people that we pay to take really good care for her because I'm that parent. I'm not skilled in the art of packing lunches. I'm not skilled, but I'm being forced to do this for the good of my child. And I am very nervous about it, but like routine is knocking at my door. It's like, Danae.
Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever I went shopping for Christmas presents the day before Christmas. It feels a little bit like that. Like, I'm just going to put this off until I really have to address it, right? Like this weekend is when I really have to get my stuff together.
Part of being in Danae's circle of friends is reminding her to eat. Part of being in Danae's circle of friends is when her AC goes out and it's 90 degrees in her home, reminding her to drink water. And then her giving you crap for reminding her to drink water when you know she needs those reminders.
Listen, I am drinking water. Yeah. I am not the ideal adult. Like, don't model yourself after me.
You are you. Like, this is the thing about all of our personalities, right? There are things that are great about them, and then there are things that are weaknesses about them. And your in the momentness is overall a strength, in my opinion.
Well, I appreciate that.
But it does have its downsides, and its downside is you can go a day without eating and go, wait a second, did I eat anything? I've been in my moments.
I'm okay. Like, it'll be okay. It'll be fine.
Yes.
I have a friend that actually has offered to come and help me. Like, she wants to help me do meal prepping and she wants to get Iris involved on the weekend. So the plan is she'll come over on like Saturday, Sunday, and we'll make some meals and make some things. Like, we'll make our own applesauce or something so she can begin to understand how food does food stuff. And that becomes part of what's in her lunchbox, which is, I guess, proven to get children excited about eating.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. I'm really excited for her to come over. Fast forward, she's got COVID. So I am just not going to have her over. And it's like when you're like about to jump into, the ocean with your snorkel gear and your scuba gear on. And you know how to put that on, and you're sitting there and you're waiting for the instructor to come, and they're like, "You got this. Sorry, plans changed." And you're like, "I guess I'm just gonna do it." Oh, hope to God.
Some great stuff here. Lolly says, speaking of mornings, I have walked the dog, showered, had my porridge, packed a lunch, and am ready to leave 20 minutes early, which means I get just a little bit of morning DNA to perk me up before I get in the car. I think I did well today.
Well, I need to be a lolly. If I had the Matrix thing where I could go and I could like put the stem in my brain and like learn kung fu, I'd also be just like, teach me how to be organized ahead of time. Teach me how to think ahead and prioritize. That's amazing.
I've tried. You do better. You have evolved. You have definitely improved. 100%. In the 10 years I've known you, you have definitely improved.
One way to see that clearly, though you don't know this at home, especially if you're not ever watching the show, is I am consistently in a room that is pretty organized behind me. I won't show you what you can't see, however. No, I will. Let's okay. We're on the move.
Oh, here we go. We're going for a ride. Podcast people, this is why you tune into the video show. We're going through for a ride
so
through Danae's
there's
office.
my pile of stuff I got to figure out.
Just
it's
a nice
not
big,
too bad.
Just a nice big roll of paper towels.
Yeah.
That's hanging out on the desk.
That's because of the there's a mess the dog had to have. There was a mess. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not too bad, guys.
No. That's not bad.
Oh, here
I'll
just show you this.
There you go. There's the full setup of what she's looking at. It's so funny that you have that split between. It's amazing.
Yeah, you guys go right here in the crack.
Yes. Exactly. Danae, are you ready to shoe a dough?
I'm ready.
All right. We will do. Are we going with the profile today? That's amazing.
Listen, I knocked over my Switch. You're just gonna have to make it work for a moment.
the lower face profile for the show today.
This is such a beautiful angle.
Hey, we need to normalize the chin, okay?
Absolutely.
We need to normalize the chin. People
normalize
get
bodies
so
and all the
weird.
stuff they do.
Yeah, this is
absolutely.
just a normal part, people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here. look at this while we just move. I did make this with Iris.
All right. So we're going to do the D in A in U. We'll have a D topic, an A topic, and as many U topics as we can get through. And you've been coming through with the U topics recently.
Dear dude, throwing out the shade. He is saying, oh, podcast listeners, it's a complete mess.
So Danae, kick us off.
Well, I did change up my topic. My topic was going to be, how do you handle enforced new routines? Oh my God, I have to make lunch for my kid. I've been dreading this since I found out I was pregnant. And here we are. The time has come.
And
that
we just
was my
talked about
original
that.
one.
Yes. Yeah.
So thank you for letting me just chat that out. My new one is another thing that's pumping around in my mind. What tempts you to get a new phone? I'm really curious because I'm in a situation right now where I'm being tempted. And I know I'm being tempted, and I know that I can justify whatever decision I want to make because that's how brains work. They're very dangerous in that way. Mm-hmm. So I'm coming to you.
They're very dangerous in that way. Your brain is a danger to you because it can
dangerous.
Rationalize everything single thing you want.
Yes. It is, right?
It really can, too. You can tell yourself almost any story and rationalize anything.
100%.
This is my narrative. My brain told it to me. It must be true.
I'm just saying, like, I have a phone. It works. Do I like it?
Yeah.
No. Have I had problems from the start? Yes. Does it make me sad when I use it? Yes. I don't like my phone. Is that good enough of a reason when they're usually very expensive? Probably not. Like, it's like a $1,200 decision. That's a lot of money to just, now some people just
if you're going with Apple, it's a $1,200 decision.
Well, there's $1,200 Androids as well.
Not right now. There's not. They don't have they don't have a phone that's $1,200.
Well, then I need to talk to T-Mobile because they're messing with me. So they
really?
have
the top of the line Pixel is no. I'm sorry. Samsung has some $12. You're right.
Yeah.
That I was thinking Google. No. Phones that run on Android. Yes, there are some $1,200 phones.
Yes. Which of course I have another problem of rationalizing that that's what I want. So my favorite phone ever is the Note series because it has the stylus inside of it and I'm very tactile. I like writing things down. I have a way of like when someone, since I do a lot of visual things, I'll like draw on top of drawings to show kind of what I'm meaning to communicate easier. It's just, I find that I really enjoy having a stylus. But when they stopped making the Note, I thought that they stopped making the stylus option in a phone. Turns out they have one that I just missed entirely. And I'm like, well, that's the phone that I want to try. So, of course, like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I want this phone. Well, then I start to poke around.
Cheaper phones with styluses too. Like my wife has a stylus in her phone.
Yeah, but then the camera and the blah blah. Anyway,
no. I know.
The list of rationalizations is deep.
Yes.
So then I decided to call. I've been with Verizon for 10 years, which is a very, very long time. But when I've talked to them in person, they have nothing to offer me. They're not like, wow, you've been our customer for so long. We care about you. They're just like, yep. You're doing the best you can there, girl, and that's it. So I called T-Mobile, and I found this bundle that they're like, this is what we're doing right now, and I'm like, well, that looks pretty, and I am super tempted to do something, and I don't know if it's a dumb idea. So I just thought, like, how do you know when it's time? Is it when I'm paying $80 a month? For unlimited, which I barely use. So my options are switch to a different plan that doesn't have unlimited, which by the way, they don't offer. Verizon doesn't offer that. Like they won't give me any other options that are lower, right? So that's that. But Google Fi, $20 a month. And that's a super savings. Keep my phone. It's cheap. It makes sense. You
You
just
can
use
also
what you use.
get deals on new phones through Google Fi too for signing up. So,
or you can go with something like T-Mobile. Can I tell you what T-Mobile has right now? Why I'm tempted? Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Netflix, Paramount Plus, Apple TV, AAA, all included.
Okay.
For $85 a month. All of that for the same exact stuff
Wait, hold on. So Apple TV Plus, Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What other one?
Netflix. And
Okay.
roadside assistance.
Which Netflix one?
I don't know. I don't need Netflix because I'm on my mom's account.
Okay, I'm just telling you, Apple TV Plus is less than $10 a month.
Right.
Paramount Plus, depending on if you do the ad version or whatever, is either $5 or $10 a month. Netflix is $15, 17, I think, if you do the HD or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're only looking at 30-ish a month for that, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know what AAA costs, but I don't think it's $30 a month.
I'm just saying, it's tempting.
It's
tempting.
weird, but if you do the math, you're actually paying all that anyway, and you don't even maybe want some of those things.
But then, to make it even better, I'm saying better knowing that it's not better.
Okay, all right.
They'll also take the phone that I like, and they'll make it $400. And I'm like, well, that's super nice.
Are they also asking you to
sign a 2-year contract? Yeah, 100%.
Okay. See, this is what I'm saying. Like,
it's so tempting. It's like when you're walking around somewhere and you're just like, this is too good to be true. I know I shouldn't do this.
We're gonna find you. We're gonna
super
find you a great
tempted.
deal on a phone through Google Fi. I'm telling you, I've used Google Fi for 2 years now. It is the simplest, most easily understood phone service I've ever used. Yes, this is kind of an ad because if you do want to sign up, let me know. I'll get you a code and do a referral. But it is just a simple. Here's your monthly cost. You either do the unlimited and it's like, I don't know, $30 a month, or it's thank you. It's not a paid ad. They're not paying me to say this, but I could get a referral if you want. But I'm just telling you, like, it's for me, it's that thing of, oh wow, this app is incredible. It's really simple. I know exactly how much data I'm using. I get 35 gigs per person on my plan before they even slow it down, and even then it's unlimited after that. Like, it's been one of the best decisions we've ever made to go to Google Fi. So we'll find you a nice little deal on a phone.
It's super cheap.
Yeah, it's really inexpensive.
So if I'm paying $80 a month and I go down to 20, well, all of a sudden that's $60 in my pocket, and I can go get more lattes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that's what's important in life is sushi and lattes.
I haven't seen a lot of people talking about how they decide to get a new phone. I will say, I have fallen in love with a particular type of phone, and because of that, it makes kind of my decision pretty. Ironically, it's the one that you hate. The Pixel series has always done me well. I really love my Pixel 6. So every 2 years, I just get whatever the new Pixel is. I don't get it every year. But yeah, I get it every 2 years, and I don't sign any 2-year contracts. I just think that's a good amount of time to use a phone without me feeling like I'm just trying to have the new thing. Like, I don't need a new phone every year.
No.
I don't probably need a new phone every 2 years.
No.
But that's enough for me to get the new thing to rationalize. I've waited 2 years. I can get the new Pixel 8
it's
or
so
whatever.
Crazy.
So,
and I like the newest thing as well. And so I usually say, once I get a phone, I want to stay with it for 2 years. Or if it's like not working, because your Pixel's great. My Pixel's kind of funky.
I think you got a bad device.
It's stabilized a little bit. Well, not only did I get a bad device, but I did not read some fine print. Again, guys, some people shouldn't adult. I'm getting better at it. I asked so many questions when I talked to T-Mobile yesterday. The girl, the salesperson on the phone was like, "You're the most educated person I've ever talked to."
That's fun.
And I was like, well, yeah, thank you. Can we go back to the part where if I decide that I don't like your service and I want to go away, that I suddenly then owe you the full cost of the phone? Is that what you said? Stuff like that. Just asking clarifying questions. But for me, it's a temptation because I know I have a working phone. It's going to be fine. Like it'll be fine. But it's so tempting to be like, ooh, for only $5 more a month, I can have all these things.
8417 says 2 years is about good. Battery life starts to go, so replace battery or phone. That is true. It is about that 2-year mark where I start to notice I'm getting less out of my overnight charge. So yeah, that 2-year mark, I found that to be great, and that's what I've done. I've had the Pixel 2, 4, and 6, and I will probably get the 8, not this fall, but next fall when the 8 comes out. So yeah.
So he says, I'm still using the Galaxy Note S5 that a friend gave me years ago. I loved my notes. I miss them. After she's used it for years. It's old, but I love this phone. I will only get another phone out of the absolute necessary. I use Net 10 as a provider and paid $25 a month, no contract. I don't like phone contracts.
Me either. That's one of my favorite things about Google Fi is it's just like no contracts. Here's what you owe. You can even pay for your data per data that you use. Like they have a really simple plan. So
I really appreciate your guys' opinions on all this stuff.
Yeah. So it sounds like somebody looked up that AAA was at most like $100 a year. Is that what I saw? So
60 to 120. Yeah.
Okay. So like $10 a month at max. So you're actually spending more money doing the $80 a month than if you just did Google Fi plus those 4 things.
I don't think that's true.
Well, if you said Google Fi was $20. Right?
Yeah.
AAA is 10.
Oh, you're saying if I went with Google Fi and then I added them all independently.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You'd be paying less than just but it's that psychological thing that they do where it's like you're throwing all this stuff in. Of course, it's worth $80, and then you don't do the math.
It's like when you walk by a place and like Google is just like this very simple like little one present in the window. You're like, okay, that's an interesting, very minimalistic display. And then you look across the street and it's like this bundled package with stuff dripping out of it. And you just have to kind of decide.
Well, it's like you mentioned Taco Bell. Their combos always kill me because they're like, get this combo with this, and this, and it'll be this price. And it's like, if you actually add up those items, it's the exact same price.
That's hilarious.
That always slays me.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for I think the temptation, I think what I'm hearing the chat say, I'm hearing you say, Aaron, as my long-standing voice of reason in my mind. Google Fi. I got to try that first because there's no contracts.
Or whatever makes
risk.
sense for you. Yeah, whatever.
Right? Like
once you've done the math. That's right. Literally no risk as far as like you can, 2 months from now, you can be like, all right, I'll do something else. Yeah, there's no contract.
Well, we may have dodged a bullet, chat. Thanks. Aaron, what's your topic today?
All right, let's talk about this. What's the best performance you've ever seen in person? So this could be this comes from going to Las Vegas for our anniversary, my wife and I, last week, and got to mark off my bucket list seeing Penn and Teller live, and it was incredible. Those guys are such showmen, so fun. Seeing Penn's energy in person, on stage is just really, really fun. It was a really fun show. I don't know that I would put it like at number 1 best performance I've ever seen, but they were a lot of fun, absolutely incredible. We went to another show where there were circus acts that literally, because of the tickets we got, were literally 5 feet in front of us. Like those, like when you see somebody who will stack up like a dozen chairs in a precarious position and then, climb up to the top and do a handstand on top of them, that kind of stuff.
And you can like see the splinters on the chairs.
Like literally, yes. And I'm not kidding when I say 5 feet. Like this was happening it is that kind of stage in the round where the, I don't know the circumference, but like if you look at like the diameter of the circle that's in the middle, it's probably like 10 feet. So it's this little circle in the middle of this like tent area. And act after act, just like right there where you can see like the muscles twitching and just like the incredible artistry and incredible shape these humans are in to be able to do this stuff. Like
incredible shape, meaning the painful shape?
It was sometimes, yeah, it was really impressive. So that included a juggling act. That was like one of the most amazing juggling acts I've seen. So like seeing something in person, I think there's something really interesting and beautiful about that. And I think it's because we know when you see it recorded, first of all, it flattens everything out so you don't get really a sense of the geometry of everything. And second, it can be edited, right? Like it could, be changed or edited or whatever. So it was really, really nice. So I just got me curious, like what's the best performance you've ever seen in person? That could be a concert too, like the most amazing thing you've ever seen somebody do live. So yeah.
Here's one from Chinchilla who says, saw Gabriel Iglesias. when he was in town a few years ago. Laughed so hard my abs hurt for days after.
Nice. That's always fun.
JCD says, I'm going to say the circle drill with the Pride of the Southland marching band at the University of Tennessee. You don't get to see much live.
Listen, when
That
you
counts.
see a top-notch marching band do their thing live, it is super impressive. Like I would not discount a marching band experience.
No, that's
because
incredible.
the precision that they are working at, and it's not just one person's precision. It's not just 5 people's precision. It's 100 or more people's precision. It's wild. The synchronicity is just incredible in that stuff. So yeah.
Steven says, I have gone to see Switchfoot twice, and both times it's been amazing.
Great live band. One of the reasons they are my favorite band of all time, which is true, is because the first time I saw them, they blew my mind live. 3 people on stage, nothing added in the tracks, 2 guitars and drums, and they absolutely filled that room with incredible music. Switchfoot is a talented group. So,
This is amazing from Angry Ostrich, who says, saw Chinchilla do karaoke last month, and it was amazing. Don't know if a single word, didn't know a single word, but sold it like a rock star. Hey, listen, that counts.
I believe it's Chinchillazil, just so we get the name correctly.
Thank you.
Chinchillazil.
Thank you. Rando Dave said, saw They Might Be Giants live, and one of the Johns played played 2 trumpets at once.
Amazing! I love They Might Be Giants. That's another one that would be on my bucket list. I'd love to see them live. That would be fun. I marked off
giving some shade back. Ooh.
Another one I marked off my bucket list, which was another great performance, is I went and saw Weird Al live with one of my sons, and that had always been something, and that was an incredible show as well. So, yeah.
Jose says it's not really performance. I think it is though. But I saw 21 Pilots, and there were tons of costumes and props and audience interaction. It was awesome.
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
100%.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. I've heard 21 Pilots do a great show. Yeah, it's interesting coming where I've come from through radio and the career I've done. And Danae, I don't know how this impacted you as well, and maybe you had, even before you were in radio, felt a certain way about things. But I became quickly a not concert person. Like, I very quickly got tired of concerts because when you're in radio, you do concert after concert after concert, and they're not all great, right? Like, they all do their best, and they're all good. Like, we'll put on good shows, but those top of the line amazing concerts, so you kind of develop this negative connotation to going to a show. And I've only just recently, since I've been out of direct radio for, however long now, 6 years now or whatever, I've only just now started to get back to be like, oh, I'd love to see them live. I'd love to see them live. And it's, there is something about it. So I'm kind of trying to shake off that presupposition that has developed.
My first thought was a concert. So I went to a concert and saw Taylor Swift, and that was incredible. Just like to see one single human entertain all of the people in this arena was really fascinating. To hear all of the people singing the same song was also really powerful. And I went to Taylor Swift because somebody paid for my ticket so that I could drive their child. And I was like, yep, sure. So I got to go for free, which was great. But it was like a drive to St. Louis and back in one night kind of a situation. And I unexpectedly gained an appreciation for the performance that I saw. It was very, 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 very fun. But yeah, I did the same thing you're just talking about, where I was like, I kind of want to, like, what's another performance that I've seen? And I went to Broadway in my mind. I recently got to see Hamilton on Broadway, and that was mind bending because of just, it's the amount of lyrics coming out of these people's performance. It was just, they're singing, they're dancing, they're all of the words. It was a lot. It was educational. It was emotional. It was impressive. And I haven't seen anything quite like that. I mean, I've also seen Phantom of the Opera. I've seen Lion King and then Music Man with what's his name?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. I almost said Jack Human.
Yeah, Jack Human. You know,
I really did, Aaron.
He was who Jack Skellington was before he died. He was Jack Human, and then he became Jack Skellington.
Oh God! So those live performances, kind of are just incredible to me. But I do miss some like when you go talking about like comedians, or there's just something so powerful about watching people do their craft and really be in their element and kind of move a room. It's a wonderful thing. I wonder what I want to like. I want to see more on Broadway. There were so many shows.
Yeah,
you could stay in New York for a year and just every single week go see something that's going on, whether it's on Broadway or off.
Yeah, my last Broadway trip was, I think, that same Broadway trip that you were on, but I also saw To Kill a Mockingbird with Jeff Daniels playing the lead role, and I came away from that weekend going, I think I kind of have to make a New York trip every year and see a couple shows. Like it's so interesting and fun. The first show I ever saw on Broadway was a choir trip in high school, and we saw Fiddler on the Roof with Topol, which I don't know if you know who that is, but he was on Broadway as Tevier for a long time, and he blew my mind. He was so good. And just like there were things happening on the stage I didn't realize you could do in a live show, like some of the ways the stage itself was built to move and sets and all that kind of stuff. I always find that stuff really interesting.
Man, I felt that way. So when I saw Lion King, the entire center is a circle, and you can interact with it, but it actually tilts up and it twists out, and sections get higher and higher to become Pride Rock, and then it goes back down into itself. It was so, and then like to give perspective of movement, it tilted forward towards the audience. So it's just this really clever way. I mean, if you were talking about a clever show, the puppetry in Lion King is incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, just people who have the ability to just story tell to an audience in a theater is such a different experience than obviously going to the movies or whatever.
I'm hooked, man. Like I got a email that Sarah Bareilles was doing Into the Woods, and I was like, how do I get to New York before the show is over? Like,
yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to. Like, I'm going to miss it. And it's okay, but there's something about like just like that live element, that is, I don't know, it's really captivating. Let's go through some of yours. Slabs,
I just popped a whole bunch of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Slab says, saw Conan when he went on his just fired from the Tonight Show tour. Saw Dion Cole do stand-up, Reggie Watts open for them. Hanson showed up suddenly. Bunch of talent on stage that night. That's really, really fun. Castriff says, went to an epic rap battles of history concert. Always a challenge at the end for someone to rap the fastest verse in their videos, and the guy in my concert nailed it. I love that your answer is random guy at the epic rap battles of history concert. That is an amazing answer.
Just you don't even know who it is. Just
don't
like,
even know who it is.
I saw that happen.
That guy is existing somewhere right now and has no idea you were the single greatest performance you've ever seen live.
Like, on a very popular podcast, a very, very popular. So
that
many people listen.
If I had the means of like Nathan Fielder or some of these people who do these shows, we would find that person. We would, activate the internet to find that person so they could know that they absolutely changed your life. So yes. Let's see. Tyler says, took my wife for her 30th birthday to see Backstreet Boys live. It was awesome and we felt like kids again. That'd be fun. Phantom of the Opera at the historic downtown San Diego Theater. It was beyond perfection. It was magical, and Bob Dylan played with Paul Simon at an outside venue in St. Louis, 2004. I think that would be amazing. It was the best concert I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of live shows. Pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing. Well, is it time to go on to the you questions there?
I think we can, yeah. Why don't you throw some up there?
Okay, so for those of you that haven't asked a question already, any question goes, and you are welcome to just pop it up in the chat. And we were going to get to some that are already in the chat first, Just if you can put a U before the question, it helps us to know that we have one ready to go. And yeah, let's jump into it here. First question. How was your anniversary, Aaron?
It was great. I already mentioned the shows that we got to see, which were amazing. Vegas is a really incredible city. I know there's a huge, connotation of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas and Sin City and all that kind of stuff. But it's a really gorgeous town. And yes, it is a place, if you're not careful, you can lose lots of money and all those kind of things. But I think if you're out to have a good time, there's amazing restaurants, amazing places to go, amazing shows to see. So yeah, had a great time. It was awesome.
Great job doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This one's fun. Angry Ostrich says, do you have any quick advice for new parents? Chinchilla zeal. Go ahead. You can correct it, Aaron.
No, that was correct. That was great.
Zeal.
Chinchilla zeal.
Zeal.
Or chinchilla zeal. That's fine too.
Zeal.
Chinchilla zeal.
Chinchilla zeal.
Chinchilla zeal.
I'm sorry, guys. We just have fun. I found out I found out 3 weeks ago we're nervous but really excited. Well, I don't have parenting advice. Well, I do have.
Everybody has parenting advice that's a parent.
I do have prepare for birth advice.
I was going to say, part of the parenting advice is be prepared for parenting advice, because everybody with a child will tell you exactly what the right way to raise your child is.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, but I do want to tell you something practical to do. I did several things that were very, very helpful for me, and I could literally talk about it for like 40 minutes. So I won't do that, but I'm going to pick the top two. My first one is that Justin and I attended I did some research on what was around my area, and we went to a birthing class, and that is really helpful because you never know what's going to happen. And if you go to a class that covers natural birth and what to expect and hospital birth and what to expect, is because sometimes you got to plan and it goes the other way. So both people that are going to be in the moment doing the thing, no matter how long it takes, can kind of get on the same page. And we learned some really cool tips and tricks about like managing pain and things like that. That was really great. So our class in particular was awesome. So I would find that so that you can like get some education hands-on, and it just helps you. And they usually start to do it when you're getting closer, so you can kind of find a class and do some research while you're early in your pregnancy. The other thing is take a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil with you to the hospital, and smear it on your baby's butt when they're born and they get in their first diaper, because the first bowel movement is not like normal poop. It's a really sticky, tarry substance that gets stuck on their skin. And because it's new skin, wiping it off is really irritating and can be uncomfortable, because usually the baby cries because it doesn't feel good, and you have to really get aggressive with it. But I brought EVOO with me, and I just put it on the baby's butt, so that her first little movement was just wiped it off. And all of the nurses, it was as if I had turned into some sort of angelic being from another planet, and they were like, how did you know to do that? I was like, I read some stuff on the internet. And I read books and stuff like that. So those are my two pieces of advice.
That's great specific advice. I'm going to go much more general. Imagine this. Danae goes for the micro, I go for the macro. Very strange. I would say this. As with many things, relationships are more important than rules, and conversations are more important than consequences. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that rules and consequences aren't important. It doesn't mean, hey, no rules, no consequences. It just means that when you're in those moments of parenting, that the relationship and the conversation has to take priority, because that's how we continue to treat as humans, instead of, these little creatures that we're trying to train, and we are, as parents, we are responsible to train our children. But I think that happens when we give them the respect of relationship and conversation. So yeah, relationship's more important than rules, and conversation is more important than consequence.
Very
So-
good advice, Mr. Dicer. So there's
Yeah, but you know what? And here's
bringing him into the world, some specifics, and then here's the just general guidelines. It's amazing.
but here's the thing. All parents screw up their kids. Like I'm not the first to say it. Like you will make mistakes. It's just the humanness of us all. We will do things wrong, and hopefully our kids have grace for that, and we need to have grace for them as well. So
apologize too. Like I've realized that I've done stuff. I'm like, Iris, I didn't handle that very well, and I had big emotions, and I'm sorry about that. And she's like, that's okay, Mom, it happens. And then now she knows how to apologize back. Like we have a very open relationship like that. So.
Example is so important.
Just show.
Live the truth you want them to believe, because they will believe what they see more than what you say.
Broken people. We're not perfect people.
Correct.
Here's an interesting one from Lucas. Sorry to hear this. I've just been fired, says Lucas, and I'm having trouble letting go of the work routine. What's the best tip to relax after months of daily stress? Is there something that you can redirect to? Like, for example, if you have a routine where you would get up at a specific time and you would do specific things at your job, can you go ahead and still get up at that time, but then take that kind of energy that you were giving, that attention that you were giving to your job, and shift it over into something that will potentially, be good for you, like a hobby. Like, for example, a friend of mine has a lot of plants. They require daily attention, which is amazing to me. They get up, they go around, they water all their plants, they make sure that they're okay, and then they go on with their day. So is there something that you can kind of add maybe that gives you that feeling of, tending to your space, because you do have extra energy now, and it's the skills that you had at your job can still impact your life around you. You can use what you had in that space to craft into your own space. And in that middle ground between jobs, it's such a great opportunity to really pour into your own sacred world, because it's not often that we have the time in between jobs to really care for our environments. So take a deep breath and kind of go, okay, I have all this skill. What can I do in my own space? The rest of it, I hope, will work itself out. That's a really great question.
Yeah, I think you are, first of all, sorry for the pain of transition and the trauma that can come with these kind of things. I know that's a part of it. And I always feel for people who are going through transition, because I know it can be difficult. My mindset has always been one to try to find a way to embrace the transition in a way that allows me to better prioritize who I am as a contributing member of society, and to find a new breath of, okay, I'm the only one in charge of my time right now. I'm the only one in charge of what the next step is. I get to figure out who I am, what I prioritize, and walk that direction. Because when you're employed, there's somebody else pulling those marionette strings in many ways. And that's just the nature of what it is they're telling you who to be, where you have to go, what you should be doing, what's important to you. And right now you get to answer those questions and go, okay, where do I fit? Where do I walk next? What do I do? And so I would just take that breath in, breath out of self-discovery, self-exploration, and then walk the path that you see the clearest in front of you.
If you're a really if you need some specific things too, I did this when I was in between jobs at one point in time, and I just kind of wrote down the things that would come to mind that I missed about my job, because that was interesting to me. Mm-hmm. That was oh, this is a skill I have that I desire to apply to the next thing. And it's that space when you don't do it, when you miss it. So if you're missing something, is kind of you're having trouble sort of letting go of the work routine. What is it about that routine that you really enjoyed? And keep record of it. Either if you're good at keeping in your mind or writing it down, or however you are, that will give you clues as to the kind of person that you want to continue to be, like Aaron was saying. So great question. This is a fun one. I'm ready for this one. House training a puppy. Oh, Lord.
It's been a long time. A long time for us. So, yeah, you had to house train both those guys, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm sure Danae has some great dog tips.
I love dog training, and this is another topic I could talk about too long. So
We did have one of our guest dogs actually pee on our couch, though. That was a first. It was the first dog that's been trained that's actually lifted a leg indoors and was like I think it was territory marking. It wasn't a huge puddle. And I was like, okay, how do we keep this dog from marking territory inside our house? Because once one dog marks territory inside our house, every single dog after that is going to want to pee on that corner of our couch. So
I mean, I'm going to want to pee on that when I come over.
We all do. We all do.
Everyone just, it's the new routine. So I think that there's a couple of things, but the first thing I found to be most helpful whenever I've done puppy training is to give them, obviously, a routine that works for them. The first thing is, for me, and again, there's a lot of different people that you can talk to, but for me was starting with the kennel. Now, with my dogs now, we had a huge space of our house that we could easily wipe up messes. And that was linoleum. We were able to kind of block off a section. So we didn't have to do crate training for very long because they had kind of the room. So, but first it's crate training. And the first thing in the morning is you go to the dog and you say the word that you want to prompt them to go to the door. So, and keep it simple. Outside is ours. So if I say that, then the dogs kind of know we're going outside. And I use a higher voice because dogs react to a higher voice than they do the lower, deeper voices. And I usually will like clap my hands to get attention. So I'll, they will wake up, but I'll be like, outside, 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 like that, just a few times. And then it's the race from the kennel to the door. If you think ahead, try to have a treat with you that smells really delicious. There's these little ones called liver treats, for example. They're great for training because they're really small. And so you can give multiple when you're training and it won't fill them up like an extra meal. So what you can do is when you get to the kennel, you can put your hand down and they're suddenly interested in what you're saying and they're interested in what you smell like. And then it's a race to the door and they're following that treat more than they're following the instinct to pee at that point. And you get them outside, and as soon as they're on the grass, you say, go potty, and then you give them and you wait, and as soon as they go potty, as they're going potty, good dog. You say, good dog, you get excited, you give them a treat. It depends on how young they are. They might have to go a couple of times while they're out there, but the big thing about dogs is to associate what you are excited about directly with a treat as it's happening, which is why when you correct a dog, let's say you come home and they've eaten your sock. Unless you catch them in the act of eating your sock, you're just going to have to be upset with yourself for leaving a sock out. You never want to correct a dog after the moment has happened because they don't associate, this is my opinion, what you're correcting with what you're angry about. So when it comes to dog training, if you come home and there's been an accident or something, the best way to train a dog is to reward them for the good behavior. And if you catch them in the act of the bad behavior, try to correct it with quick action and not obviously negative, like hitting or anything like that. You just want to redirect dogs, redirect them to what you want them to do. And they aim to please most of the time. I hope that's helpful. There's lots of other opinions out there you can read in blogs, but the fastest way to get their attention, in my experience, is to give them that treat the second that they're going potty outside and be patient. It takes a lot of time and there's a lot of messes. And the first instinct is to always blame yourself. It is not the dog's fault that they have to go to the bathroom. It's not the dog's fault that they didn't get outside in time. It is you, the owner, that needs to be prepared to take care of them. And if you have that mentality, then you're not going to be doing a lot of dog shaming, which can be even more confusing for the dogs as they figure out where they're supposed to go and how to hold it. So good luck. It's a lot of work.
What do I put on the couch to keep other dogs that visit our house from wanting to pee on the corner of the couch?
There's these things
baking soda
that I learned about called like doggy diapers. It's like a dog band that goes around their middle section. So that if a dog is a marking dog, that they lift their leg and they pee and it goes into essentially like a diaper. And so you may just require people to wear those when the dog comes in for the first time. Because I think once it smells like pee, it's going to smell like pee for a while.
Nothing we can do. Thanks. That's great. It's
You're
very
welcome.
encouraging. It's been an encouraging morning.
Yeah. Okay, you pick one. I picked a couple.
All right, sounds good. Let's talk about, let's see. I think
so
I'm
he
being
lost
set
his
up.
nature's miracle, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool. Steven, I don't know if you're setting me up if you don't know this about me, but we'll go ahead and take this as a you question. Steven says, you topic, do you drink cold water or room temperature water? I am a huge proponent of room temperature water. I think people have psychologically built in from when they are a child, and people do cold drinks and ice drinks or whatever, that drinks are supposed to be cold. It is not healthy for your system to drink cold drinks all the time. It constricts things.
Hold on a second.
It constricts things. It is, I am not triggered.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
I am just proselytizing. There is a difference. So I know that psychological thing can be hard to shake, but I'm telling you, if you can understand that room temperature water is the most glorious substance you can ever give your body, I think it really does change. It changes your ability to drink more water too. When it's cold, your body shuts down that desire a little bit quicker, because it's like, I'm
congesting ice.
Yes, this is
Consuming.
trauma. This
Not
is
congesting.
trauma to my, my throat and my mouth, and so
Ow.
you don't
Ow.
need any more.
Ow.
So when
Ow.
you're drinking room temperature water, you drink more water. Your body incorporates it easier into because, by the way, your body is warmer than room temperature. You know what I mean? So like we're really kind of creating unnecessary trauma with ice drinks. Now, on a hot day, on a hot summer, I totally get how that can feel like it's cooling us off, those kind of things. But you're much better to take an ice bath or a cold shower to cool off your core temperature than you are to drink a cold drink. So
get one of those ice packs that's filled with like rice, so that it's a long sustaining cool instead of that sharp ice cool. And just take off your shoes and put your feet on it. You will cool down pretty fast.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's one from JCD who asks, what has been something that you've been surprised by how much you like it? Recently, I had a friend convince me to buy a farming simulator, and I've been playing it daily for the past 2 weeks. I'm going to say canned tuna. I was very surprised I liked that. The first time that I ever had canned tuna, I was like, that smells disgusting and horrible. And then it was prepared, like my dad prepared it with adding some other things into it and made this nice little, what can only be described as tuna paste. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Still didn't think I'd like it, but man, did I love it. Man, do I love tuna. Like, so now I have, the canned tuna in my pantry. And every once in a while, I'll make the tuna paste and I'll eat it with crackers, or I'll put it on a sandwich. And I will feel bad for anyone who speaks to me while my breath smells like tuna for a while. But that's one that really surprised me.
Nice. I have been surprised recently by some of the sauces I'm enjoying. HelloFresh has been, again, not an ad. They are not paying us, but we do use HelloFresh around here. Use promo code DNA to get $0 off your phone on a HelloFresh app.
Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta fix it. Hold on.
Anyhow, so we've been enjoying that, and there are a lot of sauces on like different sandwiches and different like rice bowls, those kind of things. And I've kind of discovered that for my super tasting thing, the things that are the most difficult for me are vinegar and mayonnaise. Those two things will almost always be a no. They can't be hidden in the sauce or the condiment or whatever. If there's mayo in it or there's vinegar in it, I'm going to have difficulty. But anything else I can kind of like soy. I don't like normal soy sauce, but when it's mixed in with other stuff, it can be really yummy. So yeah, different kind of sauces that I've found I enjoy, because I have been for most of my life a zero sauce, zero condiment guy, just because it's always such a risk that it's going to ruin the food that I'm eating. And then if you put it all over your sandwich, like the whole sandwich is done. So
yeah, food is a big one, right? Like food is one where you're like, I don't think this is going to go well. And then you just try it, because there are so many things that can go wrong if the food isn't well. It can make you sick. You could have a reaction to it. It could be so hot it never goes out of your mouth and you're worried forever. There's just, you never know. You never know. But yeah, I think you get more experimental when, one, you're paying for it, the service, and you're like, I will eat this because I am paying for this, by golly. And two is when you get hungry and you're like, I'm so hungry, I will try anything.
Yeah.
So
Michael says, I've been into D&D since COVID, but I'm surprised how much I'm getting into it. Also, I'm
Yeah.
surprised how many books I can read with audiobooks. I struggle with focusing on just a book. Multitasking is key. So yeah, audiobooks and D&D coming
Those are
through
great answers.
for Michael. Let's see.
Chinchilla zeal.
Chinchilla Zeal
Deal.
says,
Instead of a car, would you rather have a flying unicorn or a dragon? Flying unicorn, hands down.
yeah, I think it's the unicorn.
For
Dragons
for
are
sure.
dangerous. I mean, there's
Well,
just
a unicorn can be
it's
dangerous
just the one pointy
too.
horn. It's just the one pointy horn.
It depends on
Every
who has the horn.
bull is more dangerous than a unicorn. They have twice as many pointy horns as the unicorn does. So
Listen, I want to share a story with you that's been prompted from this question.
Okay.
I was with Iris the other day, and she said, "What's your favorite animal?" And I said, "Platypus." And she's like, "Okay, what's another one?" And so I said, I can't remember my next one. I think it was something like, it was a kangaroo.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a kangaroo is a pretty great too. And she said something that
both marsupials, well done.
right. And then I said, well, actually, can I go into the insect realm? Like, I would choose a bee. Bees are the best. And she said, sure, you could do it. And she's like, actually, no, I want you to do a different one. And she mentioned something like that doesn't exist. And I said, oh, can we do imaginary, creatures too? And she said, yeah, you can do whatever. I said, okay, hands down, it is a flying unicorn, a unicorn with wings, a Pegasus. That's my final answer. I would love that. And she was like, okay, that's it. And I couldn't see what she was doing at the time. And she was over there working on something. And she drew a Pegasus for me. And it is so cute. And she's like, Mom, I have a surprise for you. And she shows me this. I'm going to try to pull it up while we go to the next one so you guys can see it. Because it is adorable. And I realized obviously later that she was fishing for something to draw for me the whole time. She was just hoping to find something to draw for me. So let me pull this up and then I'll share it with you guys.
Well,
Amazing. Go on, Aaron. Mhm.
I was just gonna say, Jose says a flying dragoncorn is
Dude, like there's just some things that are really dangerous, right? Like
I just
am I wrong
got
about
the
that?
I just got the image of a corn on the cob breathing fire for the flying dragon corn. So
okay, I don't know if I can. This seems. Oh. Sorry, guys. I'm not used to trying to share in a certain way. Let's see. Share. I'm trying to figure out if I can just upload it somewhere.
Like as a background or something, or as
maybe I'll just put it as a background. Let's see if that'll work first.
We'll have to get off the screen. Well, I mean, for people to see it. So
yeah. Okay, here it comes. This is you'll notice she did the wing. She said that based on the perspective, you can only see the one wing. And here you go. Here. Oh, you do. You have to like actually.
We like have to actually leave. If you did it as a overlay,
Okay. Nope.
do it as an overlay. It'll just go over top of us.
Overlay.
Yeah, it's above it's above video clips.
Okay, guys, we're working on it. This is all live.
It is.
This is all
It
happening live.
I mean,
I
if
thought
you're
there was
listening
a
to the
way to
podcast,
like load in
technically
a
not live.
picture and show it, but maybe not.
Yeah.
There it is.
Aw,
Isn't that cute?
that is cute.
It's her first Pegasus,
That's
and
adorable.
she drew it from her imagination.
Yeah.
I won't tell her it looks very emu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We won't.
A little bit emu-ish.
A
For
little
sure.
ostrich-like.
Yep.
This is her first attempt. It's also like the neck. You can see it.
Yeah, of course.
She's 5. You can see it.
Yeah. Totally. It works.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Let's see. JCD says, Mom had surgery this past Monday. She's doing great, by the way. Awesome to hear.
Good,
but she's
good.
getting a bit bored. Things to do to help alleviate that would be appreciated.
If she can't move a lot, then
Find a
there's
puzzle
lots
game.
of things
Find a
that you
puzzle
could
game.
do.
Right?
Yeah.
Like either on an app or even pen and paper. Like if there's like a, if she really enjoys crosswords or word searches or Sudoku,
Or knitting or crocheting or
Sure.
some kind of craft where she doesn't have to move, but then she gets to do something like localized to herself. Yeah, there's so much that you can do. It just depends
Binge
on
the entirety of the hit series The Watchmen.
wow.
There's
Oh wow. Yeah.
there's lots. There's lots.
Like get her into TikTok. She'll lose months
Yeah. Yeah.
and just
Absolutely.
scrolling through all of the options.
All the ticks, all the talks. Yeah.
She can make her own TikTok, and it's her just trying to find things to do from her own chair.
Mm-hmm.
People
Yeah.
might find that very
I was
interesting.
thinking about starting a podcast about parasitic beings called TikTok, but I didn't think it would really work. So
You didn't, because it's gonna suck.
yeah, that's a terrible idea for a podcast. But it's a great name,
Because it's
TikTok.
parasitic.
Mhm.
Because it sucks.
All right, finally, I
parasitic.
think
It
we can
sucks.
finish on this one.
It was funny. That was really funny.
It was really funny.
It was clever.
Really, really clever.
Yeah. We
That
should go
podcast
back.
would suck.
we really
definitely.
need to acknowledge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey y'all, can't hang at work, drive by you question. Got any good movie theater stories from taking your kids? My 9-year-old daughter last week quoted the whole Nicole Kidman ad verbatim. Miss you guys. A Nicole Kidman ad, man, that's a thing. No, I have the most well-behaved theater children in the history of theater. My youngest was probably the only one who he loves to talk. Just in general, he loves to talk. And so he did take some training as far as not dialoguing about every
This is
single
not
thing
the
that
time.
happened,
This is
on the
not the
screen
time.
in the moment. The story I love to tell is when we went to medieval times. I think I've told this story before, where my kids, they divide you into sections like red knight and blue knight, and you're rooting for your knight or whatever. And halfway through the jousting, Ethan, our youngest again, starts choking, just like, because you're eating whole chicken, right? With skin and everything. And he's choking on the chicken skin or whatever. And he continues as he's he's like cheering on. He's like 7 at this point. He reaches in with his right hand, pulls like a huge thing of chicken skin just like out of his throat, throws it on his plate and goes, "Go Blue Knight!" Like it was just like all part of like this amazing,
It was like the
like
immersion.
barbarian. Yeah, it was just like the immersion of like, I don't care. I've got chicken skin in my throat. I'll just pull it out and continue rooting on my guy. That was a fun experience. It would have been different if that happened at a movie theater, but it did not.
Man, I haven't had a chance to take Iris to the movie theater. Pandemic, man. We haven't gone to that experience yet, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it won't be that. Aaron.
I have a terrible story from a friend who had it was my friend's brother told his 4-year-old daughter at Pocahontas to stand on her seat and say something extremely inappropriate, and she did. And there are those types.
She's little.
Exactly, and there are those types of parents that use children as like an id extension.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I kind of think this is funny and is, and so they have their kids do it because they know their kids will just be seen as children. It annoys me, but it's one of those things that I always think of when people tell like terror stories of children in movie theaters, like a little 4-year-old girl standing on a seat and yelling at Pocahontas. So yeah. I think that's it. I think we're good.
And I've been
Thank
kind of
you.
like searching for some people to rate into. I don't really have any good
Okay.
ideas. So if you guys have somebody online that's on Twitch that you want to go watch today, I have some people that are doing music. Selected 720 is doing jazz today. Do you guys want to listen to some jazz together?
Do you like
Let's listen
jazz?
to some jazz. Do you like jazz?
Do you like jazz?
Let's listen to that. Let's listen to jazz. I like being able to go from this show into a little bit of music, and then I usually will start my day with his DJing. And Selected does a really good job of selecting his choices, and today being jazz. So it's going to be kind of a more chill vibe. I'm excited about it. He does have an ad that plays right before you can listen to the music, so just hang out for the ad and then say hi. There's a question about Babs real quick before we go.
Mhm.
It is, are we seeing Babs tomorrow? Yes, we're going to be seeing Babs tomorrow, and she's starting off in a very interesting situation. I'm excited to show you guys the what's going to be happening with that. So, but thank you guys so much for being part of the Morning DNA. You can catch our show every Monday and Sunday here on Twitch or other streaming options wherever you're watching. We'll be there again next week, I believe. No, actually, maybe not.
No?
It's
Something's going on
Iris's
next
first
week?
day of school.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have to figure it out. Just be watching Twitter for updates. We'll do our best.
Well, but it's definitely something you have to figure out in your routine
We'll
anyway,
figure it
right?
out.
Like,
yeah. No plan just yet. Hang on with us. We will figure this out. It might have to start like a little bit later, but her school day starts at 8:15, 8:30. So I should be back in plenty of time.
Yeah, you should be back.
And
You
yeah,
should
we'll
be
see you
all right.
next week, whether
All
it's
right.
a little bit late or not. So we'll see you next week. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Catch you on the next Monday or Sunday. Bye.